making some soup today, and the first thing I'm doing is chopping up my veggies. I pulled these from my garden. As you can see, it's a red celery. This is a cooking celery. It's just to give flavor to soups and stews. So it's a spice, and of course, like all spices, you use every part of it when you're cooking. And I am using this cooking celery instead of coriander, which I don't have, which are the seeds from the cumin plant. I keep putting that plant in the garden to grow, and I keep not having it. So what am I going to do about that? I'm just checking these leaves. I cleaned them, but I want to make sure they're nice and dirt-free because I don't want to be biting into pieces of dirt when I have my soup. The flavor of that is just fabulous. If you can get yourself, if you are willing to grow some cooking celery, it's like an English celery. It's these real thin canes, and you just chop it up and use it as a spice in your food. It's great. If you live in a Mediterranean environment, you can grow it all, you can have it all the time. You know, there are always, I let my stuff go to seed. So while one thing is dying off, the new baby plants are coming up with the rain. So that works out well. Now we got to have an onion. People will say a cup of onion and this, that, and the other. I don't have any time for that. When I cook, I'm going to cook the whole onion. It's good for you, and onion has good flavor. So I'm just peeling this bad boy. I'm notorious for accidentally leaving the dry bits of onion in my food. It's okay. It's good for your health, actually. It has more flavor in it than the juicy bits. But it's a little difficult to deal with. And I take my bits here, and that goes into my garden. So let me give me a little garden container. Onion in half. And then we go at it. I have to cut my onions as fast as I possibly can because I cry when I'm chopping these. If you want to mince your onions because you want onion in there without anybody knowing there's onion in your food, oh yeah, I'm already getting it. Oh Lord. There it is. I'm done. Pretty big chunks. Whew. That onion is strong. So I just kind of quarter my onion. Onion is easy to cut. Almost any knife will go through it. But the onion penalizes you for cutting it. So that's how the onion works with that. The onion's like, I didn't want to be cut. I was minding my own business, living my best life. And here you go. So those sulfur gases get you. Okay, so that's in the pot. Now on to the carrots. I'm going to use 4 carrots. We like a lot of carrots. And I'm just slicing these carrots up. I'll go as fast as I can. move on. Now on to the last of the celery. This, as you can see, has been around a lot longer, and I didn't keep it in a plastic, so it's a little wilted. But I'm not wasting food, and it's still good food. Voila! Quick and easy. Okay, I got 2 tablespoons of coconut oil in there. I have used this coconut oil for frying, so it's not brand new oil. And I'm just sweating the onions and my cooking celery. You could use any spices you want. And you hear the sizzling? I'm putting in some mustard seeds. I'm being very generous with the mustard seeds here. Use what you got, folks. It's not rocket science. It's food. If you want flavor, you got to put it in the pot. I like to fry my dried spices, so I'm putting in some rosemary. Just activating the spices. Now some thyme. This came from the 99-cent store, so it's not strong at all. So you really gotta go for it. If you got some expensive fresh spices, not secondhand, old spices that went to the 99-cent store, you can use a half a teaspoon. I'm using 2 teaspoons. It's old spice. It doesn't even, you can tell it's old because it's not really adding a lot of flavor and the smell like that rosemary. A dash of black pepper, a dash of my turmeric, and then finally we're going to put in some organic no salt seasoning from Kirkland's. This is just a blend of spices that are supposed to add flavor to your mix. Now, I like for my spices to be pretty heavy in here. See how that is? And you know your spices have given you the flavor you want when you can smell them. Easy peasy. My obey in the pot. That's got a little bit more celery in it. There you go. Celery, salt. Salt and celery and spices. It's nice. It's not a very salty food, but celery means you don't have to use too much salt in your food. Oh, look at this old pot. Gotta get that in there. Yeah. And beans in the pot. I don't cook half a container of lentils. You can if you're a person who likes to cook every day, or you have such a small family, you'd waste them if you did what I'm doing. And now, you know how we cooks are. So, as you can see, the beans, the peas, the lentils, they're nicely coated with all the spices. That's good. Now we'll pour the vegetables in. 4 cups of vegetables. Most people would use 2 cups, so I'm doubling up. If you can't afford to use that many vegetables, don't worry about it. If you have to use half a cup total, it's okay. Now, this is not really necessary. As the soup cooks, it'll cook down. So I'm adding these no salt tomatoes. So some of you would call this a bland food, but I can add my own salt. I don't want any manufacturer to give me my salt. I I have salt in the house. Salt is still cheap. Wait, that doesn't change. I'm just kind of mixing it up. As these vegetables cook down, which they will, this will all be combined. All right, so I had to transfer the pot because the beans swelled up. So I actually have enough where I have some friends that are on this Daniel fast with me. So I will send them some delicious lentil bean soup to enjoy with their own fasting. So it's cooking up nicely. Vegetables are still raw. I don't do a fine chop. I am not a sous chef. This is home cooking. So don't look for any chefing. This is what your mama made. Okay. So I need more juice in there. I like my soups kind of liquidy. So does my mom. This is perfectly edible now. This is currently a low sodium soup. If you like a little bit more salt, you can add like a pinch of salt to the pot to give you a little bit more sodium flavor to bring out the flavor. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit of Mrs. Dash. This stuff gets hard after a while, so it's about a half a teaspoon. Just to pull those flavors, but this soup is so good. You would love it. Yum. Doesn't that look like a wonderful soup? Chunky carrots, savory celery, creamy lentils, and the spices. And there's the acidic tomato bits in there. Yeah. You need this in January. This is a good one. This one's vegan, so it's made with coconut oil. You can make it with chicken broth if you like, but it's delicious with coconut oil. I didn't either, but I mean...
But I saw it on my phone.
Get some of my good old soup.
Oh, I know that's... Oh, you got it right. Oh, that's going to be good.
It'll be good tomorrow when you can eat it.